If y'all ever let me in public office, let me tell y'all something. I'm not getting nothing done. I'm going to be making fake laws. One of my laws is going to be if your printer breaks within 5 years, you get a new one. If you're charging people for parking, illegal. You're going to jail. Why am I paying for parking at an establishment that I'm already paying for something? Anyways, I digress. If there's self-checkout, I get a 10% off coupon. All the public bathrooms must have floor-to-ceiling stall doors. Should I go on? 1 million followers. Did y'all hear? Did y'all hear that I'm a millionaire? Did everybody hear that? Let's say it again. Millionaire. 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 Wow, actually, I need to be in a spelling bee for that because that's I can't believe I spelled that right. Do you know how many times I had to Google that this week? And I know, it's not like I'm like a financial millionaire, but I am a TikTok millionaire, which is like the Temu version. So like that's a win-win when you think about it. I don't know. I was just like really so excited and so proud. As y'all know, I started this in like 2019, 2020. It's been a long, long time coming. Okay. I have been on it. 1 million. Woo! Can't believe it. Anyways, yeah, so I hit 1 million followers on TikTok this week. Thank you. Thank you. Round of applause. Thank you to the choir. Thank you for saying that. And yeah, I don't know. I don't feel any different. I don't feel like I'm a millionaire, but I am, and I'm proud. I'm the first person in my family to be a millionaire. Thank you. Thank you. We're really making changes. My parents are proud. What can I say? What can I say? I didn't choose a traditional career. I'm just embarrassing myself on the internet every day. So thank you for that. Thank you for letting me do that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all the kind messages, the kind words. I'm also like literally seconds away from hitting 500,000 on Instagram. Crazy. I don't know. I don't know how it's happening, but we're just rocking and rolling. So anyways, y'all, I'm back in the laundromat this week. I'm actually filming 2 episodes this week because I'm going out of town. I'm going on vacation. Well, I've actually been on a lot of vacations this summer. Everybody's been on vacation. Everybody's been bip-bopping around. Everybody's booked and busy. Hello. Okay. I can't get anybody on the phone because nobody's available. Everybody's laying by the beach, not talking to nobody. I mean, the same is for me. So, sorry. But I'm going on a family beach trip. I'm going to the beach, baby. Load me up. We're going to the beach and I'm getting on an airplane to get there. Thank God. Because like the beach is like 8 hours from my hometown. And I'm sorry, I just can't do that. It's a very traumatic experience to have to like drive 8 hours in a car for a beach. Sorry. It's a family vacation. My mom's going to be there. My sister's going to be there. Y'all know how I feel about them. Y'all know how I feel about them. They get on my nerves. Just kidding. I am excited, but a little beach trip, a little family beach trip, it's always a little scary. You never really know what you're going to get. Like when you go on a family beach trip, it's either going to be bliss or it's going to be World War III or probably a little combination of the both. Okay. But my mom is probably going to buy me dinner one day. So I'm like thrilled. She paid for the condo. Thank God. Thank God. Thank you. Thank you to my parents for paying for the beach condo. Oh God, that is something that I don't think we talk about enough. Like family trips when people are paying for it, but that are not me. Oh my God. Cause I told him, I was like, look, if I'm paying for the trip, we're going to Europe. Like if I'm paying my cut of this trip, we're going to Europe. I'm not spending $1,000 to go to the beach. Sorry. Because I got beaches up the road here that I like more. They're a little rougher, got a lot more sharks, but I love them. It's fun. So anyways, y'all say a prayer for me because I'm going to be tied to that white sand beaches in Florida. Florida. Taylor Swift song. But yeah, there ain't nothing to do on this little beach either. I'm going to have to find a little restaurant or something. There's no bars, no, like it's just us, the beach and the condo. Everybody's just got to entertain everybody. I'm going to be bringing wigs. I'm going to be putting them to work, making content. I'm like, what else could I sign them up for while we're there? Cause I got to work. I don't have the week off. I mean, I could take the week off. Here's the thing. When you work for yourself, it's like, I mean, I could, but like, why would I? I'd rather just be talking to people on the internet. So anyways, y'all say a prayer for me in this beach trip. I'll be sure to give you a full debrief whenever I get back. Welcome back to The Wash this week. It is a solo episode, and y'all know how I feel about solo episodes. I got to come to work. I got to chat with y'all, and I'm just ready to gossip. I'm ready to talk the shit. You know what I mean? First of all, not only did I hit 1 million followers, I also hung up my own curtains this weekend. Me, myself, and I put up my own curtains. Me, myself, I put up curtains. Thank you. Another round of applause would be greatly appreciated there, because whenever I do something different in my house, the world stops spinning. Everyone needs to know. I need you to know. I need you to know. I need you to congratulate me on my curtains. I need you to tell me how beautiful they look. I'm like actually detouring people from my living room. I'm like, don't even go to the living room. Let me just take you straight to my bedroom so I can show you my curtains. And then after you compliment my curtains, we can move on. But whenever I remodeled the house, it becomes everyone else's problem. Everyone else needs to know the amount of sacrifice I put in to get it done. And I feel very strongly about that. You know? So anyways, this week I did put up curtains. I got these little curtain rods from IKEA. Love. If you ever need a little hack, IKEA curtain rods. Change your life. I got this big ass curtain rod. It's probably, I don't know. I've got like upstairs in my bedroom, I have like these balcony doors, like these French doors with these 2 window panels on the side. Big window. Okay. So this extra large, extra long curtain rod from IKEA, $44. Double barreled. Now let me just tell you something about IKEA. If you don't know about IKEA, you're just going to be roughing it. You're just going to be, just figure it out, babe. Just good luck. IKEA is the modern day pyramids, like the Egyptians. It's like how the Egyptians put together the pyramids, and we just like don't really know that. How do you put together IKEA furniture? I don't know. It's like an adult version of Legos. Legos were made to train us to put together IKEA furniture. It's hard. It is so freaking hard. Anybody who's telling you like, oh, it's not that hard to put together an IKEA furniture, they're lying. They're lying or they're autistic. Because that you need a special brain power to be able to put together IKEA furniture. Okay. Let me tell you about these curtain rods I got. I get these curtain rods. First of all, do not recommend. I'm just kidding. They're actually great, very high quality curtain rods. But let me tell you, I go to the store, okay, and the curtain rods are disassembled. Everything is disassembled, which like, I think I like shipped them to my house last time. Would highly recommend doing that, because just going to the store and figuring out what you need 4 brackets, you need 3 hooks, you need 2 rods, you need like it's 3 knobs on the end of the things, and then it's so confusing. You have to go to a computer, you have to type in what you want, and then it tells you need 14 of these different products, and one's labeled 503.77.778. Okay. Now you got to go find that, except the computer's not next to the place where you got to get it from. So you got to go across the room to find the product labeled 503.77.778. You got to go across the room to find that. Then once you get it, then you get there and you're like, well, crap, how many of these did I need? Did I need 3 or 4? Now I got to go back to the computer. I got to see it. Now now that I've gotten the computer, I go back. Okay. Now I get it. Now, oh wait, now I got the brackets. Now I got to get the curtain rods. Okay. Which curtain rod do I need? Do you know how hard it is to be putting together stuff? The installation of the IKEA furniture begins in IKEA. That's crazy. That's crazy when you think about it. And I'm like, are y'all really doing this stuff? Like, are people really like breaking all this stuff up? I don't really get it. I don't get it. And then there's no directions, which really set me over the edge, like whenever I first started putting it together. But then I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just going to figure it out. I'm just going to wing it. There's no directions. There's no screws. You just got to wing that. You just got to get up there and just figure that shit out. So I was like, then I had to buy a stud finder, which like, don't even get me started on those. That's like a scam. And like, I don't really believe in studs in walls. Just drill it into the wall. I don't even know how much longer we're going to be around anyway. So who cares if it falls apart? Okay. All of these houses are made shitty anyway. So just put it together. I had to figure out where the stud is in the wall, which was the whole thing. And then you just got to like go get your own screws, drill it into the wall, and just pray. Just pray it looks good. Just pray it hangs straight. And it did. It did. And was that like my 7th IKEA curtain rod I hung up? Yes. But I've got it down to a science. Okay. And honestly, $44 for a curtain rod, very proud. Very proud. So I'm just letting you know, IKEA is not for the weak. You really got to be ready. You got to have your brain. It is a mentality to go into IKEA. It isn't a mentality to sit down and decide that, oh, I'm going to build something today. That's how Jesus felt building the ark, or Moses. Who built the ark? I imagine it was like IKEA. Putting together the ark would be easier than putting together IKEA furniture. Anyways, I digress. So speaking of 1 million followers, on the day I hit 1 million, I was like, you know what? Let's go to dinner. Let's go to dinner in Los Angeles, which is like, it's risky. I'm going to be honest. It's risky. And because you never know, because everybody's always on some like BS when you go to a restaurant in LA, and you never really know, either the food's going to be good, the service is going to be good, or it's going to be a side quest to get there. And that's just your options. Those are your 3 options. I go to this little restaurant. I'm not going to name any names. It was good. It was like a little French restaurant. It's in like a strip mall-ish area. Okay. So there's like a dry cleaner or something next door. You get what I'm feeling. Okay. It's a high-end little French restaurant. And there's a teeny tiny little parking lot. Okay. Mind you, also all around this parking lot, there's like street parking, but they're all like full because it's like off of a busy street. So there's like no street parking. There's no real, like, the neighborhood's close by. You can't park in after 7 p.m. or they give you a ticket. It's like really, it's not fun. Okay. So I was like, where am I going to park? Where am I going to park? Where am I going to park? And I'm like looking around. I pull up. This restaurant is like, we offer valet parking for a small fee of $17. Let me tell you something. This is California. This is not New York City. Okay. It's not necessary for us to pay for valet parking when we have so much land that there are places for us to park. Okay. Whatever. Because, like, to set the scene for you, this parking lot for this strip mall is like half empty, half full. Okay. So I'm like, there's other businesses in this parking lot. So surely if I'm paying $17 for valet, this man must be parking my car like 4 streets away. Like, he's running it. He's going to like move it, put it in a parking lot somewhere. They've got an assignment somewhere, a deal with somebody. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. Because when you pay a premium for parking, $17, when I'm already eating at your restaurant, that's not cheap. Surely, the valet parking is going to be legit. So I pull up. Mind you, the parking spots in this parking lot are not like accessible. Like, I would also like to clarify that, like, the impression of the parking lot and the signs in the parking lot made it seem like, oh, it wasn't just for you to just like park in the parking lot. You were like forced to valet. It was like valet or like park on the street. You get what I'm saying? So eventually I get out of the car. $17. I get out of the car. $17. Let me just say that again. $17. Okay. Get out of the car. The man takes the car. And like the valet's like right next to the door. So I look at this man. He gets into my car. My car's right here. He gets into my car. He puts the car into reverse. 10 feet. 10 feet. He turned the car 90 degrees, backed it into the parking spot. I can see the car from where I'm sitting in dinner. This man, 30 seconds, 10 feet. Beep, beep. And in that moment, I found out that the parking lot was really just for valet. It was just for valet. We couldn't park ourselves in the parking lot. I don't know why. There was no tandem parking. It was clearly very easy to get in and out of. The parking lot was for valet. So that man backs my car up 30 seconds max. Literally 90 degrees. Beep. Backs it up right in that parking spot. I'm pissed, obviously. But like, I mean, I've agreed to the terms and conditions of this service. Do you know what I mean? What am I going to do? It's like, is it this man's fault that is working the valet? No. Should I have given him hell? Probably, but he's just doing his damn job. Economy's rough right now. He doesn't need another reason to cry. Okay. So I was like, I digress. I'm just going to go in. I'm going to enjoy. Also, I just hit 1 million followers. I need to be like, why am I being so cheap? Why can I not be in a good mood? Why am I nitpicking this? So I keep on moving on. I go in, I have a fabulous dinner. It was really interesting. Anyways, I don't want to get into that right now. They had a cheeseburger that was like very kind of appalling, but it was like swimming in sauce, literally. And I love sauce, but that was a lot of sauce. Anyways, I'm moving on. Okay. So I come out a few minutes later and I'm ready to leave. And the man's like, that'll be $17. And I look at him and I look at the car. I look at him. I turn my head. I look at the car. It's that close. I could touch the valet booth and my car at the same time. $17, pay up. Cha-ching. Okay, well, I did agree to it, I guess. Give him my card. Declined. Okay, give me the keys. Give me the key. No, sorry, let me try this again. The machine's been acting up. The Wi-Fi's bad. Oh my God. Swipe it again. Declined. Now I can't even pay for the damn $17 valet parking because the meter's declined. And I'm not getting out another card. I'm not. Which is probably... at this point, I was so pissed that I was like, oh no, you can make it work. Figure it out. Call American Express, baby. I'm not doing this. I'm not giving you 14 cards. Also, you're swiping my card 14 times that it's probably going to charge it. The charges are probably all going to go through. And then there's going to be hell to pay. Because one thing about me and American Express, I'm not afraid to make a call. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid to be like, oh, false charge. We need to get that taken off. So he has to reboot the whole system. I'm standing at this valet booth for like 3 minutes, right next to my car. Right next. We are touching. They are touching. Okay. He finally swipes it, $17. And then he looks at me. He looks at the car, looks back at me, and is like, do you need me to pull it up for you? $17 plus tip, and you're gonna ask me if I want you to pull it up for me? Well, sir, it's only 5 feet. Yeah, so why are we paying $17 for this? This is crazy. Do y'all not think that's crazy? Let's use our brain. That's insane. $17 and then had the nerve to show me a tip screen. No. You backed that car up 4 feet. I'm sorry. I normally do tip well. But tipping culture has gotten out of control. And there is a time and a place where I will say no to tipping culture. And I will put my foot down. And if that makes me canceled, whatever. I do not care. There is a time and a place. And I'm sorry, but if I'm paying $17 for you to move my car 5 feet and then you turn it around and flip me a tip, no tip. Sorry. $17 was the tip. Some of y'all are charging way too much money and then asking for a tip on top of that. No, baby, tips included. I know the going rate. I know the market rate. So anyways, had the nerve to look at me and be like, are you needing me to pull the car up? I said, yeah, you are. If we're playing house, baby, let's play house. You know what I mean? I felt like it was like, you remember when you used to play house with your friends? You'd like invite your friends over. You'd be like, I'll cook in the kitchen. I'll go get us a little bowl and I'm going to turn around and then I'll give it to you and it's fake food and we'll just pretend like we eat it. That's how I felt with that valet man. I was like, oh, if we're playing, I feel like we're just playing fake. Like I'm just playing for you to park my car. This is a fake thing. So if we want to just play around and play house, pull the car up. Because I think it's ridiculous, quite frankly, but I'm just living the fantasy that you created. We've got to do something about the parking in Los Angeles, and there needs to be a law against that. If y'all ever let me in public office, let me tell y'all something. I'm not getting nothing done. I'm going to be making fake laws. One of my laws is going to be, if your printer breaks within 5 years, you get a new one. If you're charging people for parking, illegal. You're going to jail. Why am I paying for parking at an establishment that I'm already paying for something? Anyways, I digress. If there's self-checkout, I get a 10% off coupon. All the public bathrooms must have floor-to-ceiling stall doors. Should I go on? I know we've got bigger fish to fry in this country. That's why I'm not running for office. Because those are the things that just get under my skin. Anyways, I digress. I gotta move on. Isn't this the funniest thing you've ever heard? Doesn't it make you want to share it with a few friends? I don't know, 5, 10, 15, 20? Yeah, go ahead and share it with them. I'm sure they'd love to hear from you. It could be your mom, your sister, your ex-boss. Honestly, your retail friends. I don't care. Whoever you thought about today, send it to them. Send it to them and then send it to 5 more people. And while you're at it, make sure you rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. And I'll let you get back to the show. I'm moving on. It's time for the wash cycle, And today, during the wash cycle, I was like, what could we be talking about? And then I was like, you know what? Retail therapy. Because there's just something about clothes that really just make a person. It really just lights my fire. Sometimes I put on a nice pair of pants and I'm like, damn, I'm hot. I mean, and then when the pants don't fit, I cry. which is something that does happen occasionally. It happens to everybody, and that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes it's just the dryer is just really strong. It's not that you gained weight. It's just that the washing machine shrunk those. It's not your fault. That's what I tell myself. But retail, I just like don't like going into retail. And I think it's just because working retail, I worked retail actually. Working retail sucks the life out of your eyes. Just, it's gone. You never get it back. That sparkle, that twinkle you had when you started that job, you'll never see it again. It's like war. It's like war flashbacks when I think about working retail. It was a really hard time. It's like the days just passed so slow. And I was like thinking about this because my first job was in retail. Fun fact. And y'all, I don't even know how to describe to you the hell that job put me through. Let me just tell you. First of all, I had an assistant manager who hated me. Hated me. And that man was gay. He was a gay man. And like, what do you mean a gay man was coming after me? A gay man who was double my age hated me. What do you mean gay on gay crime? Why was he acting like that? We got to stick together. What do you mean you're discriminating against me? Anyways, he was threatened. He was threatened. I was young. I was good at my job. And there was always something going down at that place. One time, oh my God, I had another manager. That was like a crazy thing. I had another manager who they never really like trained me properly. And if you've never been in retail, you should know that like most of the job is boots on the ground. Like you really, whatever training they put you through, it's not going to prepare you. You're going to have no damn idea what's happening. Okay. You just got to rip that Band-Aid off, ask questions when you're in the situation. Okay. So I remember I started working this job. And I had one person, this was like my first or second shift. And this other coworker who was just like literally just an associate with me is like telling me things to do. Dalton, you need to go in that section and fold. Dalton, you need to be over here and jazz this up a little bit. Meanwhile, my manager is telling me, Dalton, you need to go behind the cash wrap and check people out. Dalton, you need to go over here and do this. Well, now I'm getting mixed signals. Obviously, I'm going to listen to my manager, but like the associate is like coming back to me and is like, Dalton, why isn't men's pants cleaned up? Because you're not my manager. So I just like very confidently went to my manager and I was like, hey girl, the sales associate over there is kind of like trying to tell me what to do. She's telling me different things. Everything you're telling me, she's telling me something different. Do you mind just like clarifying to her, like, hey, you got this? You know, that's all I was expecting. Oh, baby, I got called into the manager's office after that. They called me in. My manager, my general manager came back and was like, so I hear you're got some problems with Melissa. I was like, no, I don't. Oh, well, evidently you're having issues taking feedback from Melissa. I was like, well, Melissa's not my manager, so I don't know what you're talking about. That was crazy. That was crazy. That was one thing. And I was like, no, I just went to her and was like, why is she telling me what to do? She's not my manager. This is crazy. Anyways, so I was so poorly trained at this job. I had no idea what I was doing. Like genuinely, it was just, so I was asking questions. That's fine. I'm like, I can learn on the spot, So, one time I remember I went into the back room and they had these like lines on the ground, like yellow caution tape on the ground. Like that was just, it was sealed to the floor. Okay. And I was like, I don't know. That looks like an important detail, like what an interesting, like, why is there yellow caution tape on the floor? But nobody had told me this. Nobody told me like why there's yellow caution tape on the floor that's like lining the floors. So I was like talking to a manager. I was like, hey, like, what is this yellow caution tape? She's like, you don't put the racks in the way. The racks have to be cleared from the yellow caution tape. I was like, oh, okay, why? She was like, in case there's an emergency. I was like, well, that's critical information. If somebody passes out in the back, we're going to need some way to get people back there. You know what I mean? It's a fire hazard. I didn't know this. You didn't tell me this. And so then she turns to me and she goes, you ask a lot of questions, don't you? I said, yeah, I do. I did say questions that should have been covered in training, right? Somebody peed in the dressing room there one time. Why are y'all peeing in dressing rooms? Y'all are doing too much stuff in the dressing rooms. Y'all are peeing in there, pooping in there. I've heard horror stories. I was not going back there. I told him not to put me back in the dressing room. And like, Oh my God. One time that manager, the gay one that didn't like me, he told me one time, he was like, "You're never going to guess. We just hired your replacement." Because they didn't like me. I don't know what they had against me. I was iconic, okay? And then my next retail job I had for 3 years. Anyways, I digress. So he goes, "We just hired your replacement." And the thing that you should know is I was district lead in the credit card applications. Baby, I was swindling people. I was probably telling people things. I don't really know how I was getting those credit card applications. But like when you work retail, getting credit card applications that's your entire job. That is all you have to do. And if you don't get those credit card applications, they take you out back and shoot you. Like, it's that serious. And every day I'm just pleading for my life. Please, please give me your social security number. Please, please. I can't handle this. One time I got 9 credit card applications in a 4-hour shift, which was a lot for my small town. Okay. Literally, the district manager was like, "What is he doing? Is he stealing people's information?" I don't know. I don't know how I did it. But anyways, I was turning them out. So that little gay manager that I told you didn't like me, one day he came in, he goes, "Oh, you're not going to believe. We just hired your replacement." And I looked him in the eyes. I said, "Good. Tell him he's got big shoes to fill." I don't know how I came up with that on the spot. I've never been witty like that. I've never been able to just clock somebody. I clocked that man. He gagged. He was like, I was like, yeah, yeah. Also, what do you have against me? I'm 16 years old. I'm a minor. This is crazy. Anyways, then another time they just stopped scheduling me because they got mad. I was like giving away my shifts whenever I was like, "Oh, you scheduled me for like late at night on a school night. I'm going to give my shift away." So one time they got mad at me for giving up shifts. So they just like stopped. They just stopped scheduling me. So after like 3 months, you're just like automatically terminated if you don't take a shift. And so I would wait until the 3-month mark was about to expire. I'd pick up a shift so it'd restart my clock. Because if you want to be petty, let's be petty. Like, let's be petty. Like, I'm not that kind of person, but like I can do it back. We can go tit for tat. I'm not afraid. That's one thing about me. I match the energy. I match the energy in the room. When you're giving me attitude, I'm going to give you attitude back. Yeah, and then whenever I went to go put in my 2 weeks, I walked in there and the same nasty gay manager who was nasty, he was nasty, had a bad attitude, funky attitude. Whenever I walked in there, he looked me in the eyes and he goes, "Do you even still work here?" I said, "Actually, that's my 2 weeks." I was like, "Screw y'all. This is crazy." Because retail it'll suck the life out of you. It's terrible. It's terrible. And they're all miserable. They were all miserable in that place. Anyways, I went on to work another retail job that I loved. That was like actually so much more chill. And it was so much better. It was so much more relaxed. I had like normal management, normal team for the most part. And it was just like, it was a joy. It was a joy to be around people, I can't go back in a store anymore. Now I can't go back because I just get PTSD. I'm like, people are in there, people are screaming, people are giving these workers hell. I'm like, every time I grab a pair of jeans, I mess up the entire stack of jeans. I got to spend 10 minutes refolding them. Because why did they make the fold so complicated in the store that when you grab one, it messes them all up? Now you got to restart it again. And like the hours pass so slow when you work retail because you're just folding. You're just like folding. And it's just like, it makes you want to gouge your eyes out. I was like, please put me behind the cash register. I need people to talk to. You know what I mean? But anyways, I can't go back into a retail store. It's bad. I don't think I could ever do it again. The hours are terrible. The pay's not great. People are rude. Like, I remember at my second job, one woman looked at me and she said, "Excuse me, where can I get some men's shirts that cover the nipple?" I said, "Oh, I mean, pretty much all the shirts here cover the nipple." She goes, "Well, not like, I want one not like that." And rubs my nipple on my shirt. "I can see your nipple through that shirt." Okay. I'm sorry I have a nipple. What do you want me to do about that? We don't have a nipple test. We don't have a way to be able to tell what shirt is most see-through for the nipple. Can you just leave me alone? I can't go back into a retail store. And I hate trying on clothes in a retail store. I don't like going into those little fitting rooms. And let me tell you, nothing gives you a claustrophobia attack like a Zara fitting room. Oh my God. You walk in there, it's claustrophobic. There's just mirrors everywhere and then curtains. Everybody can see you changing. I'm like, I'm going to throw up when I walk in there. There's always clothes everywhere. I can never put anything on in there. I can't extend my arms in a Zara fitting room. And then, like, nobody talks about how it's a workout. You have to be in a mental state to walk into a retail store and try on clothes. Because some of them are going to make me look fat. And maybe that's just my body. I don't care. But I don't want to know that, you know? And like, because sometimes the cut is right or the cut is wrong. And why are there so many different sizes? Why is a medium in one store an extra large in another? Why is it an extra small in one store but a large in another? I can't. I'm so confused. What are we doing? What is the purpose of that? Whenever I go shopping for clothes, I have to be in a headspace. I have to be in a headspace because I'm probably not going to like the person that I go in as or come out as, you know? And then you're going to spend an arm and a leg. And it's like such a workout to peel your clothes off in this tiny little room that you can't extend your shoulders out of. You're just like this. And then I'm trying to peel my shirt off. And then I'm trying to put my next shirt on. I'm dripping in sweat. The clothes are ruined because I've sweated in them. It's nasty. Don't even get me started about taking your pants off. Especially when you're wearing some sort of tight pant or some sort of tight short or something. I'm damn near flashing everybody in the Zara fitting room. I can't do it. And then none of the clothes fit the same. Some of them are cropped weird. Some of them have a weird, extra funky fabric. I can't do it. I can't do it. And you know what we could benefit from? Everybody getting on the same damn page about clothes. The people in retail deserve a raise. They deserve a raise. They deserve a high pension. They are doing a lot for our country. And I'll never go back. Sorry, I won't. I can't do it. It's terrible. I really have so much respect for people who work in retail. And like the thing about just like, and the malls just like aren't good anymore either. Like that's what makes it so hard. Like you remember when you used to go to the mall and you used to just like shop all day, get you a little Annie Ann's pretzel, maybe a Cinnabon, a Great American cookie, a little Mrs. Fields cookie. Yeah, like it was just a high. You know, and like, why can you only get those meals at a mall? Like a food court at a mall is just so superior. That is the one thing I miss about working retail is like the food court situation. Like, why don't we have more food courts outside of malls? I'd be down. I would go. I would attend. There's something about a food court. It's a plethora of options. And the food court restaurants, I do feel are a little bit rough around the edges, you know? Like you never really know if you're going to get a little rodent infestation, which you think if they're in tight quarters, like surely it shouldn't be that hard. But no, the food court, the quality's a little bit lower, but you have options. You have a plethora of options. You can get you a little orange chicken from Panda Express, a little slice of pizza from Sbarro. God, I love Sbarro. Get you a little 5-piece nugget from Chick-fil-A. Our mall used to have a Raising Cane's in the mall. Oh my God. They could be doing something with the food courts. This is how they could bring back the malls. If they revamped the food courts and then did a sampler. You get one strip from Cane's. You get a half a slice of pizza from Sbarro. You get just 3 bites of fried rice from Panda Express. Then you get a mini kids cheeseburger from Shake Shack. Then you get a little pretzel from Annie Ann's. I'm telling you, they could turn this whole thing around. That's the problem. These people who are in bankruptcy for the malls aren't smart people. We could turn that thing around. If you let the general public speak and you listen, you'll be swimming in money. But nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to do that. They used to have at my mall, they used to have this place that was like a potato. It was just potatoes. It was like fried French fries, and they had just a million different salts and stuff. Oh my God. Like it's a magical place. It's like a food court. People are alive. People are just feral to try anything. It's like a fair. It's like a step down from a fair, you know, because when you go to a fair, they're just like cooking shit. Like it's weird stuff at the fair, like deep fried stuff. But a mall is like a socially acceptable day-to-day option from a fair, if that makes sense. That's how I feel. I miss the food courts. The food courts aren't the same. The malls aren't the same. The kids are running around the malls. Which is like what the kids should be doing. Where else are the kids going to go? But y'all have got to start disciplining these kids. That was another thing when I worked retail. When the kids would come in, when you were working retail and the kids would come in and they just destroy a display. All the women's tops are just flipped upside down, sideways. This wall of sweatshirts was just destroyed. Look like a tornado went off. And if I could parent your kid, I would make them sit there and refold everything to a T. I'd be like, adjust the lines. That's not a good enough fold. Because I think that's good life skills. I think we should be making kids clean up after themselves with precision. If you can't put it back the way you found it, don't wreck it in the first place. Sorry. Sorry. I'm just kidding. Kids are great. I'm just giving them a hard time. But one of my old friends from retail actually unfollowed me the other day. So really ruined my day. Because you just like when you're working retail, you build a bond with people. You're really just thrown to the wolves. You have no choice. You're elbow deep in just the thickest, roughest customer service job you've ever had in your life. And you trauma bond with the people next to you. It's hard. It's hard. To my retail sisters, you'll always be with me. I'll never forget you for the hell that we went through. In like Black Friday, y'all remember Black Friday? God, I miss Black Friday. I do wish I could have worked Black Friday back in the day when people were just throwing stuff, when people were just knocking people out, tackling them to the ground. God, invigorating. That's the time where it's fun to work retail, you know? I would go, like, you know how some people are like, oh, people go on a power trip. I would with retail. I'm happily. No, you can't do that in here. No, sorry. I'm not giving you that product that you waited 3 hours in line for. I mean, like, if you got a bad attitude, no. I think that we should be able to refuse service. We reserve the right to refuse service for a bad attitude. Because some of y'all are too mean to retail workers. I said it. Moving on to our final segment of the day. Freshly Pressed. You know, one of my favorites. Freshly Pressed is where we talk about whatever the hell we're pressed about this week. And I've got a good one. This week. So for my Freshly Pressed this week, my Freshly Pressed is about old people. Let me just set the scene for you. I love old people. I'm thrilled. I love an old person. But let me tell you something. If you are a rude old person, pack it up. It's time to go. Either put yourself in a home, move somewhere, or put yourself out of your misery. I don't know. That's really bad of me to say. But why do old people get to be rude? Why do they get to be nasty and hateful? Like this woman cut me off. She was going 5 miles an hour, cut me off, then flipped me off. But ma'am, you're the one in the wrong here. I don't know. Maybe we're not really thinking things through as we once were. But just because you're old doesn't mean that you automatically get a pass. It's like, yes, I get the respect thing. I get we should respect our elders. We should make room for them, right? Like, oh, you need somewhere to sit. Let me get up for you. Fair. Do you get to be a nasty ass person with a badass attitude because you're old and elderly and archaic? No, you do not. I think that's quite ridiculous. And I think that's setting a standard and a precedent that y'all aren't going to like. Because if I get to be bitchy and rude whenever I'm old, y'all aren't going to want to see me. I will be. Some of these old people need to be put in check. Like the way they speak to people, the way they act around people, the way they get an attitude with people. No. And people are scared. People won't throw hands because they're old. And that's fair. I get it. But you don't get to be a nasty old person just because you woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. I get it. But we can all be a little bit more chipper. We can be a little bit friendlier. Because guess what? Maybe I had a bad day too. Okay. Great. I don't get to be rude to everybody. Because I just feel like sometimes we allow old people to throw tantrums like as if they're toddlers. No, you've had more life experience. You've got more money than me. You've had enough time to work. Okay. There's no reason to be nasty and rude. But let me tell you, I love an old person who cuts up. I love an old person who's fun, who's lively, who's young at heart. You can just see that their heart is still beating. They are lively, and we will miss you when you're gone. But if you're a grumpy old person, sorry, pack it up. Maybe these aren't the golden years for you. Terrible to say. But I do love the old people when they're friendly. Thank you so much for clocking into the wash this week. I hope you've had the best time. Make sure you're rating us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. And while you're at it, give us a thumbs up on YouTube, subscribe, follow us on Instagram and TikTok. And before you know it, I'll see you here again next week. Bye.